I'm writing a letter to my grandchildren on my 75th birthday. So here I go with my discussion of the most serious challenge your generation faces. I know you're thinking, the national debt. Nope. Or Iran outfaxing Obama and obtaining nuclear weapon capability. Nope. Immigration? Nope. Entitlement programs? Closer, but nope. All of these are a risk to the future of America, but they can be solved relatively quickly when you elect a leader that has the will, or is forced, to address them. It won't be pretty, but they can be resolved. I believe the largest challenge you face is the secularization of America. Not in the direct sense of the decline of religion, but in the unintended, at least I hope unintended, resulting loss of our value system. Secularization gained momentum in the 1970s when, based on the separation of church and state, the courts ruled that government property cannot have any symbolism of religion. This has evolved to the ridiculous. Reciting the pledge in school is optional. You can't display nativity scenes on public property. You cannot use the term Christmas in public schools or government offices to describe the Christmas holiday. In fact, the Constitution was created on the assumption of individual values based on Christian values. So as our values erode, our form of government is weakened. John Adams, one of the signers of the Declaration of Independence and second President of the United States, said it this way, and I quote, "It is religion and morality alone which can establish the principles upon which freedom can be securely stand. The only foundation of a free constitution is pure virtue." End quote. I understand that nothing stands still, not society norms, not individual values. But I also know some changes are for the better, and some changes put our country at risk. I do not want to revert to the value system of the 1700s or even the 1960s, but I believe the following changes to our value system increase the risks that future generations will have to deal with. I believe we, the American people, have seen an erosion of honesty as we have become a more secular society. This is one of the biggest challenges for the future of America. I've seen it move through some phases. First, the white lie. This was an acceptable stretching of the truth to not hurt one's feelings. Then the spin lie. This evolved in the world of politics to emphasize the positive and omit the negative. 3, the omission lie. This is a partial truth and is a method of explaining away a crisis. 4, the embellishment lie. This is common and probably has been around for a long time, where individuals or their supporters portray themselves as something more than they are. You see it today in resumes for job applications, campaigning for political office, even describing one's past accomplishments. Finally, the power lie. This is an intentional misstatement and is expected to be believed because of the position of the person using it. Unfortunately, this has become widely used by politicians at all levels, including President Obama, by athletes and movie stars, by company presidents, and even by church officials. When I was a child, I was told the fable of the boy who cried wolf to illustrate the linkage of honesty and trust. I am seeing this scenario played out in the international landscape today. Polls show that our trust in our federal government is an all-time low. Only 19% in 2014. That was disappointingly well earned. Accountability and forgiveness. These two values are related because to be forgiven, one must accept accountability. I was taught and still believe everyone is accountable for their actions. However, today there are a number of ways individuals and organizations duck accountability. They deny something like, "I did not do that," or "I was not aware of that," or they blame someone else. My sister did that. That was the responsibility of my vice president. That was the fault of the previous administration, or the previous executive, or the previous manager, and so on. Or they blame the situation. I could not help myself. And my favorite, well, it was totally legal. And forgiveness, which is the result of atonement, has evolved to a public relations strategy. The most obvious uses of this ploy are by athletes that are involved in egregious behavior, such as domestic abuse or use of PEDs, followed closely by politicians and corporate executives who hold a press conference to apologize. The apology can be summarized as, "I am sorry if I offended you," as in sorry you were offended, not that they were sorry for what they had done. Then they think they are given or should be. Hard work and charity. Work hard and you will succeed. That was the American dream as I knew it, and it still is for many today. In addition, success came with the responsibility to give back. It implied everything from helping your neighbor, to mentoring someone, to supporting your church, your university, and to helping those in need. Many today do not look at it that way. In a recent poll, during our disappointing economy of the 2010s, nearly 40% of those between the ages of 16 and 24 that were not then employed indicated that they did not want to work. Granted, some of these were spouses who opted not to work, and some had sufficient family wealth that they didn't need to work, but a large number of these individuals were on government aid. Government, federal and state, have become everyone's, quote, charity. Pay your taxes and the government will distribute to those in need. Top down, as in government charity, does not work. It creates a sense of entitlement and eventually dependency. It takes away the compassion and gratification of individual giving. Charity organizations are beginning to realize that repetitive and continuous support creates an environment of entitlement and dependence. The current approach by government, we even call them entitlements, does not reduce poverty. In fact, it sustains poverty. Voltaire, the French writer, figured it out in the 18th century. I quote, "It is not inequity which is the real misfortune, it is dependence," end quote. Let me summarize. The secularization and diminishing of values has been going on for many years in an incremental fashion, which makes it less apparent. It reminds me of a description of change used as an example of deteriorating quality. When you buy a new car and you get that first ding, you're incensed. After a few weeks, you hardly notice that ding, and with each new ding, it becomes more acceptable. Using this metaphor, President Obama dinged it up pretty good. In fact, enough so we should be concerned, if not incensed. Placing the last 7 years in historical perspective, in his zeal to move secularization more quickly, he eschewed the morality that John Adams and our founding fathers saw as the foundation of a free constitution. Incensed? Maybe not. Concerned? Absolutely. But I continue to have complete confidence that with the right leadership, America will regain its values and will become again the country and society admired throughout the world. Why do I have this confidence? First, I believe in hope, charity, and love, as demonstrated to me by my mother. Second, I have a belief that millennials and subsequent generations will take actions to reshape America. I wish them well.